Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of What's on My Desk. Today I'm going to let a few skeletons out of my closet. Technically not out of my closet, but out of my vault. Today I'm going to talk to you about skeleton watches, you guessed it. And I figured if I'm going to talk about skeleton watches, I'll give myself an excuse to bring out some really heavy-duty artillery. So I got about $1 million worth of stuff sitting on my desk today, starting with a Roger Dubuis double tourbillon skeleton, a second-time comer to this show, which is an Audemars Piguet Platinum Minute Repeater Jump Hour, and something completely different, a Graff watch. That's right, a watch from the famous jeweler Graff. I'm going to start with the Roger Dubuis double tourbillon, which is probably the best looking and my favorite piece out of the three that I have to show you today. And look at this gorgeous watch. What is there to say about the simple fact that the watch is simply drop dead gorgeous? And for two reasons. Roger Dubuis has been known and is known for making some of the most beautiful watches on the market today, especially if you think about those new Lamborghini pieces they just came out with. Those are drop dead gorgeous, but this piece is definitely something else. White gold, double flying tourbillon, complete see-through skeleton timepiece. I'm going to try to get you a close-up of this so you can see this better, and I apologize for the reflections, but just look at it. I mean, what is there to say about this watch, with the exception of the fact that if you have one of these pieces on your wrist, it is a showstopper. I'm sure you guys all know Louis Breguet created the tourbillon in 1795. Originally, when the tourbillon was patented, the tourbillon sat on a bridge. This is a flying tourbillon. And the only difference between a flying tourbillon and a regular tourbillon is the fact that the flying tourbillon is cantilevered, being only supported from one side. I don't know if you can see that here, but that's what it does, if anybody cares. Retail price on this piece, $338,000 US. Pretty hefty, but if you think about it and you look at some of the competition in regards to retail prices, it's really not so bad for a double tourbillon in comparison to other brands. What does this piece trade for out in the open market for? For a brand new one, expect to pick one up anywhere from 35, maybe up to 40% off. On a secondary market, you could probably pick these up at better than half price. Next, I'm going to briefly bring back this guy, which I had on a different episode, which is the Audemars Piguet Minute Repeater Jump Hour skeleton. And the reason I brought this guy back is really just to show you a different variation of a skeleton watch, one that's not a full skeleton like the one I just showed you. Now you can see that, yes, the watch indeed is skeleton in the front, it's skeleton in the back, but it's sort of not that completely see-through skeleton because there's so many parts in this movement that you can't really see completely through the watch like you can with the Roger Dubuis. And that's mainly because this is a jump hour watch and a minute repeater watch. A lot more parts. Even though the other one is a double tourbillon, this one has a lot more parts in it. And if I put the two side by side, you can quickly see the difference, how this is a completely see-through skeleton and this one is not. You can see in certain spots through the watch. Nevertheless, this is sort of a semi-full skeleton, let's call it that, not that it's an official term. I guess while I'm here, I might as well let you hear how this sucker sounds one more time. Not bad for a $410,000 watch, right? Resale value, I think I mentioned this before, brand new one, you expect to pay 30 to 35% off retail. On a secondary market, you can pick this piece up probably around the half price mark, maybe even more should you strike a better deal. Now, I purposely left the Graff skeleton tourbillon for last. I know you're asking yourself a question, is that something that should even be considered in the realm of horology? Well, there's a reason why I brought this thing to show you today, and I'll talk about it in a second, but first let me show you this watch. Look at this beauty. Now, I know that the only thing that's going to scare a watch nut away from this watch is the fact that it says Graff on it. Had this watch said Patek Philippe or Roger Dubuis or Audemars Piguet, people would be all over this timepiece. But nevertheless, look at how beautiful this watch is. White gold, again, complete see-through skeleton, just like the Roger Dubuis Tourbillon. This is a single Tourbillon, and it has the iconic Graff design with the emerald marker on 12, which he tends to do with a lot of his pieces. These watches come in different variations. They all come covered with diamonds, rightfully so for Graff, and also covered with baguette diamonds. Those are a little more pricey. What's the retail price on this piece? $235,000. How much do you expect to pay for one of these? Well, if you wanted to pick one brand new, you're not going to get much of a discount. Maybe 35 to 40% off. Now, the secondary market is where the problem comes in, because indeed, this is a Graff watch. In the 15 years that I've been doing this, people always ask me the same question over and over. A watch is a good investment. And my answer has always been the same to them. No, it is not. A watch is nothing but an expensive toy. If you want a good investment, buy Apple stock. However, you can buy certain pieces wisely, and they will certainly hold better value than others. And at the same token, it's certainly better than buying a fancy car, which loses half its price right out of the dealership. With something like a Graff watch, what this is a jeweler trying to enter the watch market. Now, the watch market is a nice chunk of change. It's a multi-billion dollar yearly industry. I'm not going to quote you any exact numbers. I'm not 100% sure. However, so guys like Graff, guys like Cartier, guys like Chanel, guys like De Grisogno, all those guys want to take a bite out of that huge, humongous market. And there is an ass for every seat, just like there is a buyer for every watch. And those that follow my advice and don't consider watches an investment, I tell them the same thing. Buy what you like first and foremost. Don't worry about what I like. Don't worry about what I think is a wise buy. These things are expensive toys, so you buy what you like. And I'll be honest with you, this Graff piece, what's not to like? This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Now, you're going to go out and you're going to buy, let's say you're going to spend about $130,000, $140,000. You'll probably end up losing half your original investment. But ask yourself a question. Is my enjoyment of this watch, or me adding this watch to my collection, worth losing half of what I pay for it should I decide to sell it 5-6 years later? That's the question only you guys can answer. It's my job to tell you how it really is. I hope you enjoyed this episode on me letting a few skeletons out of my vault. Last but not least, I'd like to show you what's on my wrist. And today I'm wearing the Patek 5990. This is probably the hottest Nautilus on the market today. This watch sells at retail and above. It is absolutely impossible to get. There's hundreds and hundreds of guys out there that are in line waiting for this watch to get it from their local AD. And to go back to my conversation about investment values, well, guess what? Today, this watch is money in the bank. But 5 years from now, should the popularity of the Nautilus go down and this whole craze of 5711 selling for $40,000, the 5980 selling for stupid amounts of money, once that craze goes away, so will the price of this watch, whether it's a 5990, a 5980, or 5711. Today it's hot. Today it's a great investment. What's going to happen 5 years from now? Nobody really knows, and I don't have a crystal ball. So that's it. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time for more watch reviews and other great videos. Till next time.